This is Larry Bache with the Merlin Law Group, helping policyholders for more than 30 years. If you have a claim or your client has a claim that needs help, please feel free to call the Merlin Law Group because we are the true policyholder advocate.
We are supplementers and estimators for general contractors. It relieves some of that administrative burden of keeping it organized, making sure all the data's together, and allows them to go back to selling and producing jobs and making more money every year.
Met Matt and Nadju several years ago. Just really awesome guys as far as giving the information, really making the industry better. They care about the contractors. They care about, really how the whole process works. And then they're very honest as far as when we have a claim to give us their honest opinion as far as whether or not we want to pursue that or not. And then once they receive that claim, they really do a great job at following up with the homeowners, making sure that they're representing our company because at the end of the day, our client is trusting us to put them in touch with the best in the industry.
Okay guys, I'm back. I had about enough time to eat some food and turn around and be back at it again here with some live coverage. I go ahead and I got the radar up for the Chicago area. So while I was eating a little bit of food and replenishing my supply and my energy a little bit, excuse me, we had a storm kind of blow up here on the north side of Chicago area. So this is Evanston, Illinois, 1-inch hail. And based on what the radar is looking like, I honestly wouldn't be super shocked if there was hail a little bit bigger than this. Let me bring up a couple more panels here. I'm gonna have to look at it 100% analysis here. Try to, because this is a very densely populated area, and it's from what I remember from friends who lived in the Chicago area from visits. The Evanston area is very nice. So, well, yeah, it looks like, I wouldn't be surprised if there was some like ping pong ball size hail up in there. So, golf balls. Okay, yeah, might have been some golf ball size hail in Evanston just now. Yeah, so we're here. We're rocking and rolling again now, guys. So let's roll this. Let's roll this bad boy. So we also had some 1-inch hail down south a little bit too, here in the southern parts of Cook County, over by Darien. That 1-inch hail there. Looks like we got a new. Is this new storm? Yeah, a new storm forming over by Sycamore. So yeah, we got a lot going on just in Chicago itself. Make sure there's no sneaky reports coming in right now. Right now, yeah, it looks like mostly quarter, $half size hail. But we got a lot of other stuff happening here. So we have hail happening across. Man, whoa, what is this? Up to the north of, what is this? Plainwell, 2-inch hail. I don't know how big this town is, but it looks like they got blasted pretty good while I was eating. I'm switching back to the Davenport area. We got this storm moving into Davenport right now. The same stuff that hit Cedar Rapids with that really big hail, and golf ball size hail at West Kimberly and I-280, and that is what I had a feeling was going to happen. That was one of the main reasons I went live, other than the fact that stuff's happening in Chicago as well, and Michigan, and everywhere else. But it looks like this storm is now crossing into Davenport. Davenport's one of those cities, kind of pain in the butt. The radar is just north of town, so you have the cone of silence where you can't see anything, and then you have the cone of really awful to look at Jackson Pollock level painting of a storm. But thankfully, when you're really close to the radar like this, you can actually see the hail kind of better. It's subjective. I guess maybe it's because I look at these all day, but you can tell right within here, so where the correlation coefficient, you can kind of tell when the greens and the blues show up. And since you're picking up the radar, the radar beam's only 100 feet off the ground, that we had hail upwards of probably golf ball size falling on the north side of Davenport right now. So at Northwest Boulevard, we're by West 53rd Street in Davenport. So you had the hail. We have an intersection, thankfully, with this golf ball report. And so that confirms that golf ball size hail is falling, and then just based on how the storm looks and where it's moving, one can surmise that there is big hail falling as well here in northern Davenport, even if the radar is looking kind of junky because we're so close to where the radar is. Yeah, so you can kind of see, again, it's a little more abstract. We're very close to the radar, but it looks like here in the northern half, so just if you're north of East Kimberly Road, it looks like we're getting some hail upwards of golf ball size in the Davenport area. So they reported, they're reporting quarter size hail National Weather Service employees. So I'm assuming they're getting 1-inch hail at the National Weather Service, which is usually located very close to the radar itself. I'm assuming it's this building right here. So that means in the cone of silence, this area at the airport, you're getting 1-inch hail, and then that bigger hail. The bigger hail is going to hug the southern edge of a storm closest to that updraft, because the stronger the updraft, the more things that can be lofted and held in place, and eventually, they are able to get bigger because the updraft's stronger, and as they get bigger, when gravity wins, that's when you get that bigger hail. So that's why probably getting golf ball size hail again here on the northern half of Davenport. Basically, if you're north of East Kimberly Road, but you're south of I-80, chances are you're seeing some pretty big hail right now in Davenport, Iowa. So I'm going to shift back over now to Chicago. Okay, all right, let's see what's happening here. The storm that was in the northern suburbs over by Evanston, that so far has quarter size hail, that has moved off into Lake Michigan. It was warned for golf balls. I'm curious if we had hail that big. I'm looking most likely quarter to $half size hail, but if someone showed me some proof that there was some ping pong ball to golf ball size hail, wouldn't be shocked. So I'll just put it out there. I think primarily though you're at that quarter size hail. Here to the south over by Oak Lawn, this seems to be an area that likes to get hit with hail in the Chicago metro pretty frequently. This storm seems like it is riding. It's making a turn to the south. This one doesn't want to go in the lake. So I think here in Oak Lawn, we're probably getting some quarter size hail right along I-294 over by Route 12, and then even further south by Route 7. And this is in the Burbank, Palos Hills, Oak Lawn area. Again, I don't know, how good of an area this is in Chicago or whatever, but that's what we're looking at. And then even further to the west, now this is what I was kind of expecting the storm that hit Rockford was going to look like when it moved towards Aurora. We have this new storm that's forming just to the east of Sycamore that just now got warned. Excuse me, guys, I ate some chicken wings way too fast. And this has quarter, $half size hail in it right now. With those sizes increasing again, we have a hail spike that just popped up. So up to golf ball size hail is likely falling in this along Swanson Road and Henderson Road and the far, far eastern reaches of Sycamore, Illinois. And this is heading directly into like St. Charles and Aurora and eventually Naperville. So this is these are all very obviously some of the most densely populated areas in the United States. So We also have, a ping pong ball report came in. Numerous additional photos of hail larger than quarter size in vicinity. So Evanston, Illinois. So this is the north suburb just to the north of Chicago, or as I like to call it, Edmond, Oklahoma. It's the north suburb of Oklahoma City. Evanston and Edmond are pretty much the same idea. So my non-sponsored ad for Mountain Dew Kickstart to get me through this evening. I think it's gonna be a long night. So I got what's a ping pong ball size hail there. We got a storm here by Sycamore that's getting its act together, and it looks like this storm over by Oak Lawn is also trying to get its act together, even though it's a little junky looking at the moment. I'm gonna switch over to Michigan for a minute here. Yeah, Carl, come on, 5-star map. Yeah, Chicago's trying really hard right now to give us a 5-star map today. It's currently sitting at a 4-star map from when I didn't even talk to Derek. I just saw the message in our Hail Trace chat. So that's what we're seeing at right now. Checking on Davenport, yes, golf ball size hails are falling in Davenport currently. I need to check in on Michigan before we move forward. Here. Oh Christ, I don't even have the roads loaded. Looks like where are the people in Ann Arbor? Okay, the western sides of Ann Arbor, Michigan got up to some ping pong ball size hail. This storm is now moving to the south and to the east. I think someone asked about Ohio over by, this will be heading into Toledo in the next hour and a half. And then for Cleveland, we got to see how things pan out. They got to cross the lake. Once we cross the lake here, we'll see how Ohio has for play. For play. I'm not entirely sure how this is going to pan out. We might be in for a late night. Ohio is untapped potential right now, so we haven't had any activity. We have a watch out in place now that I haven't seen, and yeah, so the SBC Storm Prediction Center, they're the ones that issue all the severe thunderstorm watches. They're ride or die, I guess, on this because they're saying up to tennis ball size hail, so we might be in for a hail of a night. So quite a bit of activity across Michigan in the last hour or so, and I need to probably get some roads loaded up on here, but I don't even have the I keep going to Davenport, driving me nuts. I don't even have the freaking files open for this, so give me a couple seconds here, guys. Put in the comment section, we're going to talk about send it to Texas, no fair. Yes, this is very strange for it to me, but if you're in Texas, you're in Oklahoma, you might be going, what the hell? We're supposed to get hail in Chicago in like June. We were supposed to have had our big ass storm, months ago, and all these Chicago fools are the ones getting it later. But no, that's not the case right now. It looks like Mother Nature is throwing different bones. We're throwing like a June setup right now. It's going to be in the 30s in Oklahoma this weekend. I don't know. Mother Nature is making 2020 have just an overall weird theme. So I think when we're looking down the pipeline, I wouldn't be concerned. It looks like we're going to see much more classic spring setups coming up as soon as Easter, especially for the southeast, and then for here in the southern plains, I wouldn't be concerned. Early April, this is just a strange event happening to have possibly the Great Lakes region have the first 5-star of the year. I mean, Dallas has claimed the first 5-star for the past few years. I think other regions of the country are sick and tired of it, and they want something. They want their big hailstorm first. So, hey, whatever. That's how Mother Nature rolls. We're just reporting on it. So, I think this is the road file. Getting Ann Arbor. Okay, all right. We can actually see what's going on here. So Saline, Michigan just had some $1.25 size hail. This storm's continuing to move to the southeast. I think. Okay. What's this? This is like south of Dearborn here. This storm looks like it's trying to ramp up a little bit with probably some quarter-size hail over by Willow and Flat Rock, Michigan. Off back to the west here, this town of Plainwell. Oh, it's actually a decent-sized town. They got some 2-inch hail there, so that's probably a solid 3-star map. I'm too far away from the radar that we would be using for Battle Creek to really get a good image on that. Have we got any reports on that? Quarter-size hail, so probably nothing too crazy. It looks like we got a whole ring of storms trying to form around Lake Michigan now. This is kind of wild. let me pop back into Davenport because that's probably the biggest storm happening currently. Okay, so the storm is moving far enough away from the radar now that I can actually see what in the name of God's going on. My eyes on Toledo, no rain yet. Yes. On LaPorte just started raining. Yes, I can check in on the Indiana part of the Chicago Metro in a second here. So again, golf ball size hail. It looks like it extended pretty close to just north of downtown Davenport, right by the river. Pretty much follow Kimberly Road, and you're going to be finding that big hail. Warning, just update, golf ball size hail. Yeah, looking pretty clear to me now. You can, now that we're a little bit farther from the radar, we're picking this thing up at 250 feet instead of like 90. You can see pretty clearly where the high reflectivity is, and just above my head is where you see those lower correlation coefficient. The CCs are going to be very low when you're really close to the ground because you're picking up that hail right before it hits the ground. But golf ball size hail definitely happening. The intersection of I-74 and Kimberly Road, and even as far to the east as Middle Road and Devil's Glen Road. And this is moving to the south and east. So we'll be crossing over in Illinois in just a moment here into Moline, or Moline, one of the two. And somebody said Carol Baskin killed her husband. Okay. Yes, Tiger King. We are in Oklahoma. That is where that's from. So this is going to continue moving to the south and to the east. Ignore this. We're too close to the radar for this algorithm to properly get a feel of what's going on. Update here. We got the radar now showing the large hail by Riverdale along Route 67. This will cross over into Illinois in the next 5 to 10 minutes. So again, this will probably, I'm assuming this is going to be added to the Cedar Rapids map that we have made. Cedar Rapids also got a significant storm earlier. I'm going to check back in on the Chicago Metro. We had quite a bit of activity going on there, and look at that. Okay, a golf ball size report, numerous pictures shared via social media of hail to golf ball size in Evanston. So Evanston had up to golf ball size hail. I think I mentioned just a few minutes ago, wouldn't be shocked based on what I was seeing. Up to some golf ball size hail with the way the radar looked here, and I was honestly just jumping on and just trying to sort of catch up as everything was happening. And I'm willing to bet those golf ball size hail, that'd be somewhere, you know, by probably between like Harrison Street and Evanston down to about it just says alley, are you kidding me? Sheridan Road. And especially if you're along like Green Bay Road, this whole area in here that I just mentioned, that's probably where that ping pong ball to golf ball size hail fell. And that's also where the reports are showing up, but that's most likely where that fell in there. So Evanston's a pretty nice pseudo suburb of Chicago. It's basically just kind of Chicago, but there's some houses. So definitely we're checking out there. Got golf ball size hail now, yeah, near Pierce Road in Illinois 23. So yeah, I mentioned the storm in Sycamore. The last time we looked at it, it had that hail spike on there. That hail spike is a clear indicator you're getting that hail upwards of golf ball size and larger. There's your golf ball report. Your Pierce Road in Illinois 23. Where is that? Is that like right here? There's Pierce. Oh, are you kidding me? What? What? Okay, I guess the whole town of Sycamore just got some golf ball size hail. What is the most heavily populated area hit today? We have not, honestly, I don't think we can say that for a fact yet. Probably Evanston, because it is immediately bordering Chicago, you know, one of the more densely populated cities in the United States. So that would be the most heavily populated area. In terms of the size of the swath and houses impacted, that might not be the biggest. They're much larger, more expansive swaths today, but that's kind of what we're seeing so far. So this storm now, it's over by Lily Lake. History of golf ball size hail, likely golf ball size hail still falling. And it's right by Virgil, Illinois. It's following Route 64, if you know that, in the outer burbs in Illinois. It's going to be heading to Lily Lake, Campton Hills, and then Geneva all in the next 15 minutes or so. Heading south and east. Let me get an arrow for you guys so you can see where exactly I'm pointing to here. And that's going basically like this. So follow that black arrow. That's where the storm is heading. So if you're in Geneva or North Aurora, and then eventually West Chicago, Naperville, this is where this storm is heading. And of all of them in the Chicago area, that's probably, again, like I had mentioned earlier, the storm that hit the Rockford area, the most promising. It's all by itself. It's got nothing to really get in its way, so it can have potential for some bigger hail. So keep an close eye on that. Looks like some more quarter-size hail happened in the Oak Lawn area. We got a quarter report in Burbank. Possibly another hail core showing up here right on the Indiana-Illinois border over by East Chicago. Possibly 1-inch hail there. Man, more ping pong ball reports. Okay, this might actually be a pretty good little swath here over in Evanston. Off to the east, we're in northern Indiana, the Chicago area of Indiana. Over by New Chicago, looks like a storm's trying to get going by Valparaiso. Looks like possibly some quarter-size hail there as well. And I think someone mentioned LaPorte. Over here, yeah, that doesn't look like too much big hail in LaPorte, mostly just some rain and thunder. And quarter-size hail in Buchanan, Michigan. As these are crossing on the other side of the area. Naperville's heavily populated. Yes. If this storm can hold itself together and move through into Geneva, Naperville, and everything, that's going to be your moneymaker. That's going to be your really big hailstorm in terms of population and homes impacted. Whether it makes it there or not is yet to be seen, but that's, I guess we're going pure numbers. That's what we're looking at. With lots of row houses and pretty about the same scenario. Yes, it is. Yes, that's exactly how Evanston's built up. It's very, very densely populated. A lot of nicer homes. Okay. So latest update here. Yeah, that hail core that I was mentioning right on the Indiana-Illinois border looks like that it is trying to power up a little bit here in East Chicago. What did they update the warning here for? Is it still for golf balls? Yeah, it's still for golf. Oh no, it's for $50 now. Yeah, looks like it's weakening a little bit. See if it pulses back up in a few minutes here. I'm going to pop over to Michigan because it looks like Battle Creek is having some reports come in up to ping pong ball size hail in Battle Creek, Michigan, quarter size hail in Marshall, Michigan, and looks like things are heading generally towards Toledo. Let's pop up over to south central Michigan, southeastern Michigan. Looks like some quarter size hail. You can see those lower CCs. It's a little kind of speckled. Probably, again, a lot of rain mixing in and smaller hail. Dundee, you're next. And then this will probably split the difference between Monroe and Petersburg and then head towards Toledo. This looks like it's moving like south-southeast, so it's sliding south-southeast. We'll see if it can actually get there. How far is Cedar Rapids from Omaha? I do not know off the top of my head. Google Maps can probably give you a good answer on that one. Battle Creek just got some ping pong ball size hail. This is not a great look from the storm. I'm a little far away from the radar, but I also do not want to load up too many radars. Already I'm trying to juggle 3 at once here. So again, you can probably check that out. Could see up to some ping pong ball size hail. And then looks like Plainwell, Michigan. You had up to 2-inch hail there. That town looks like it got a nice little hailstorm. So that's your update on Michigan. Somebody asking about recap from Evanston. Oh, well, I guess it would help if I got to the actual Chicago radar. I'll roll this back. Basically, right when I started, this storm just kind of powered up real quick right by Mount Prospect and had a period of hail. Pretty much, if you're like east of what highway? This I-94 to the lake. That's where you're gonna probably see that ping pong ball, the golf ball size hail. I have not looked at any pictures or anything yet, but just based on how it looked on radar, not super surprised that we had up to golf ball size hail in Evanston, right up against the water. Pretty impressive for that. Here, Virginia got some stuff. John, what do you think? Sip from beer. Oh man, hang on, we got a lot of questions coming in. Oh crap, I think they're coming on Derek's Facebook. If Derek's watching, maybe we can get. I think probably need somebody in the comments here to kind of help me out a little bit to respond to the comments. Hang on 1 second. Okay. Derek should pop on there in a second and hopefully answer some questions you guys have, because I'm trying to answer them as they're showing up on my screen here, but they disappear kind of quickly while I'm like looking at other stuff. And I know YouTube and Periscope, I can't see the comments. I only have the Hail Trace feed, Facebook coming up, so that's when I can go back and look at the comments. I just don't want all the comments here forever, because then I can't really see it. So Aurora, Naperville. So we have a storm moving in right now. Not looking, dang, it's not looking as good as it did back by Sycamore. We had golf balls, but I still think $quarter to $half size hail over by Lily Lake, right along Highway 69. Oh, okay, I got an update here. Right along Route 64, about to enter like St. Charles in a minute here. That probably likely having hail $quarter to $half size. This area that I see, the lower CCs, I'm curious if that is actually big hail or just some kind of, yeah, it might be just, yeah, this might be a little bit of some feedback or something, so it might not be as big of hail as what the radar's showing, but yeah, $quarter, $half size hail, and that's in Campton Hills currently, and that is going to be heading into the St. Charles area very, very soon, only a couple minutes from now. Off to the east a little bit by East Chicago, looks like there's some hail falling there as well, most likely around quarter size. All these other towns that are right along the Indiana section of the Chicago area, all looking like either sub-severe hail or just marginally severe hail at the moment. I want to jump back over to the Davenport area. Okay, yeah, we got a lot more reports coming in. I haven't checked on this one in a little bit. This is being added to the Cedar Rapids storm map. This storm has pretty much been roaring this whole time. We had up to 2-inch hail now. Looks like it was reported in again north sides of Davenport. We have a ping pong ball report by Davenport, our ping pong ball quarters. Golf ball size hail, all over the Davenport area. So it came in from the northwest, moved across the north section of Davenport and just near downtown, and now has moved over across the river, gone into Illinois, and now we are in east. I don't have the roads open up, but East Moline and Silvis. Give you an idea. This is what we're looking at population-wise, and that's what they're getting hit pretty good right now. On Route 92 and where Route 84 combined, that you're getting more golf ball size there as well. Golf ball size hail there as well. And is moving southeast. You know, you just look at the polygon here. That's where the storm's pretty much heading, and that's going to head towards Gianoso, Geneseo. Pretty off to the south and east, and probably just kind of parallel along I-80 a little bit as it continues moving to south and east. Oh, dang, we got another storm in Iowa here. This is south and west of Iowa City, moving off to the east as well. And another storm. Man, what's firing these babies off today? It's crazy. A lot of storms coming in on this one. Let's see, can I get the Rock Island County? Hang on. Let's just get some roads for you here in Illinois, since I have this on all loaded up anyway. Why not? Nope. Just give me 2 seconds here, guys. You can tell that this is unusual this time of year because I don't have everything all preloaded up. I have to load it as it's happening. Usually I'm pretty good about getting things loaded up. Like I got all the Dallas counties all loaded and everything. Not so much in northwestern Illinois. So that storm is continuing to move off to the south and east has since moved through Davenport, being added to the Cedar Rapids map. Based on the amount of reports and the history of the storm, I won't be surprised. It's a pretty good storm that's hit a large section of the city of Davenport, Iowa. So another good storm. Today is a pretty prolific hail producer so far. So just kind of doing a quick recap of everything that's happened since I've started this particular live stream. It's the third time going live so far this evening. First time, storms north of Milwaukee. Second time, that's where we had the activity in Rockford. We had activity in Cedar Rapids. We had some activity in Michigan. And now I came back just in time for Evanston, Illinois, which is a suburb just in north of, literally the border of Chicago. Golf ball size hail. They just dropped the warning on the storm that's moving into the Aurora area now, unfortunately. And then we had some hail south side of Chicago, some quarters. We had hail upwards of 2 inches diameter in Plainwell, Michigan. We had ping pong ball size hail in Battle Creek, Michigan. We had ping pong ball size hail on the western sides of Ann Arbor, Michigan. Now we're watching a storm heading generally towards Toledo, Ohio. And we have some activity, mostly probably not much in the way of any real hail in the Indiana side of the Chicago metro, and now Davenport getting hit with upwards of, let's say, multiple reports of up to 2-inch hail in the Davenport area. So again, a lot of activity today, a lot of hail. Let's see how many reports we're at for the day. Actually, I want to. We've been kind of rock and rolling. We're at 160 hail reports so far for the day. So this is the most hail we've had so far in 2020. So this is the biggest hail day to date, and we're still rolling. And just for everybody in Ohio, it's still coming for you guys too. You guys haven't even started your evening yet. So Battle Creek, Michigan is the hail capital of the Midwest. LOL, says Derek's on here now. So yeah, I've been hit a few times now. This is not the first time Battle Creek's got some hail. And Michigan, I mean, good God, I think freaking Michigan's going to get more hail today than they usually do in a whole damn year. Like, this is kind of crazy how much hail is happening in its early April. You never see this happen in Michigan in early April. Usually it's snowing. So, Iowa might be the first 5 stars, says Derek. Yeah, having looked at about 4 pictures from Cedar Rapids in the like 10 minutes between me getting off the stream, eating some food, and getting back on. And now all these reports in Davenport, they're both going to be on the same map that might bring it to a 5-star. Somebody said, why so far north this year? So basically, it's just the setup. This isn't like a yearly thing. This is more or less just the... is more or less just this technical, this setup. So basically what we have is what's called northwest flow. So instead of the jet stream, hang on, this is a good time for me to use my little pen drawing here. So I'll draw this really thick and in blue. So usually you get the jet stream doing this. You get it to come up like that. You get the flow like this, and you get the storms that hit like Oklahoma City and Dallas, etc. I-35 corridor, big deal. So what we're getting here is a weird split flow. So you do still have this, but it's getting cut off. So really, it's kind of like this. And then you have the other part of the jet stream coming down like this. So you're getting that northwest flow. And you have, since you still have everything here, you get that warm air still going up north, so that way you can actually get some activity going on. It's usually pretty common in this area of the country in June. Early April, not so much. But man, it is it's kind of weird. Usually you're seeing stuff in Dallas before you're seeing stuff in Iowa and in Chicago, and especially Michigan. Michigan's not really a big hail state, but we are so far. So, all right, we're going to let this roll. Okay, so that's just kind of like why it's going on. This is all going to change. If you're in Oklahoma, you're going to see it get cold as crap next week, just in time for my birthday mid-month. Maybe third year in a row, we could possibly see some some snow in Oklahoma, so it's a big pattern shift, and then I think things kind of switch into a more seasonable pattern second half of April. So don't sweat it if you're in Oklahoma, you're in Texas, Kansas City, whatever, and you're like, what the hell, is it summer already? Like, what's going on? No, don't worry. This is just an unusual event to get the glory all to the Great Lakes region for a little while here. So now that I've done all that rambling, let's kind of see what's going on storm-wise. Yes, the storm completely evaporated heading into St. Charles and Aurora. This might not be Aurora and Naperville's day for storms, but you get the big storms elsewhere in Evanston and over towards, looks like over by Gary, Indiana. Looks like a hail core is trying to form there. We got a 1-inch report in Portage. 1-inch report by New Chicago. Yeah, from that storm a little earlier. Then we got one from Portage that just passed, not making big hail anymore. Bet that we're going to see some quarter-size hail in Gary as well. So, all right, let's check in on Michigan, apparently. That's what my radar decided to jump on. We're now seeing the storm heading towards Monroe. Looks like we're starting to get a little further away from the radar, so you're seeing the way the CCs are kind of stretching out a little bit here. It's more just a little more backscattering than actual hail. And again, this is over by Monroe, so just north of Monroe. Your hail core is going to be right where my mouse is showing up, and that's continuing to move south. Monroe, probably see quarter, $50 size hail in a little bit. Let's see. John, show a pic of hail in the click chat. Okay, I guess I need to go look at the click chat. For those who don't know, that's what all the meteorologists are using to chat while we're all working from home. Whoa, what the fuck? Holy shit. Are you kidding me? Okay, so I swore, which means this is in Evanston. That's really big. That's a lot bigger than a golf ball. So, yeah, so that's in Evanston. All right, yeah, we might have made a 5-star, man. It's very possible that. What the hell, man? Okay, all right, Mother Nature, you are. Yeah, there you go. Get hype, guys. That was in Evanston, so that's the Edmond of Chicago. Like, you guys don't even know. What the fuck? That's so crazy. Yeah, so it was bigger than golf ball size hail. I mean, that picture I just showed you guys, that was the Evanston storm. That was the size of a bill, like a 20, or that was the size of a dollar bill. What? Good God. Yeah, I mean, the hail potential today was really good. Man, that storm like blew up and just, man, that's crazy. Okay. Anyway. All right, so what's currently happening in the Chicago area, a dying storm near West Chicago. And we have storm dropping. Yeah, Derek's laughing at the fact that I decided to swear a little bit about the hail. You guys don't have your. If you got your kids watching me, I mean, come on, put Netflix on or Disney Plus or something. It's like $6. Like 2 5/8 inches wide my bill. So yeah, there you go. That's pretty big. This storm by Gary, Indiana looks like it's strengthening. I don't have the county. I need Lake County, Indiana loaded up, but I don't have that yet. So I don't have Indiana loaded. Can bring up something for us. Somebody asked about Davenport. Give me a minute. Just 1 second. I'll go check out. Lake County. again, it shows that how unusual it is for this time of year when I don't have all of this like ready to roll ahead of time. I wonder if the storm's trying to. I'm thinking aloud here, guys. I wonder if the storm's like attaching to the lake front, lake boundary. Eyes on Michigan, Toledo also. Yes. Lake County 89. That's what it is. Okay. Did it go? Yep. All right. So here we go. The storm, the only storm of interest in the Chicagoland area is in Gary, Indiana. And north of I-80 East and to the west of I-65, just in Gary itself, probably seeing some quarter, $half size hail, maybe even a couple ping pong ball size hailstones in there. So that's going to continue to kind of ride the southern edge of Lake Michigan for a little bit as it continues to move to the south and east towards New Chicago and eventually South Haven, and continue into Indiana from there. We'll see if this storm over by Geneva can it rebound itself a little bit as it gets towards Wheaton and Naperville. Maybe. some weirder stuff's already happened today, guys. So I wouldn't put it past these storms. Okay, over by Davenport here. The storm that impacted Davenport is now subsevere. It looks like it's dying, and the storm off to the west has taken over. Very similar to, yeah, what WTF is going on in 2020? Indeed, I got a lot of questions about this here. So a lot of golf ball reports. So it looks like widespread ping pong ball to 2-inch hail in the Davenport area. I have not had a chance to go look on social media to see any pictures or anything. The only picture I've shown on here was the one sent in our Hail Trace chat of the very large hail in Evanston, Illinois. So if Rockford didn't make it a 5-star, that might do it. I don't know. We'll see. This storm in Davenport might have also done it too. Could we get the 2 for 1 5-star day? We'll see. So looks like the storm in Davenport looks like it was a good storm. I'd say very similar to what impacted the. Somebody said, care to revise your 2020 hail forecast? Honestly, my only revision at this point is I guess the Great Lakes is going to have an above average year. Like just today, we're at 170 hail reports for the day. And honestly, sometimes what these areas, I mean, like Michigan doesn't get hail super often, so it doesn't take a lot to make them have a very above average year. So the fact that it's April and we're getting a big event means you just looking on a numbers perspective, you're going to get something else. So it might be a much more active year in the Great Lakes than anticipated. I had near average, might end up being above average. Again, for folks in the Southern Plains, I say just wait, don't worry. You're not you're not in any rough shape yet. So can we see closer to Evanston with that biggin? Yeah, so I can bring that back up. Before I jump back over to that storm, we got another one here north of Muscatine. This one's continuing to move to the south and east, so that's going to avoid Davenport, and I don't think there's any major population center anywhere nearby. We also had Riverside, Iowa, some quarter-size hail as well. So Davenport and Cedar Rapids, they're both going to be on the same map. They both are on the same map, and anything else that's happening in Iowa today. So you'll get that all for the same storm. Okay, ping pong ball size hail report just came in for Portage. Okay. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring back the radar from Evanston. So this is where it looked the best, right here. Well, I'm going to keep it zoomed out enough because I can zoom in too much and you're going to see all the roads. Too many roads. And do I dare say, well, yeah, this one event's going to make April above average for the Great Lakes. For the year as a whole, we'll see. I mean, the chances are, I mean, the chances are looking not bad. I'd say that. So this is when the storm looked its best over Evanston. So when it was doing this, let me grab the picture again, not have the chat in there. And that's what it was dropping during this. This is from Evanston. I don't have an exact location from it. I'm sure once if they can find the location, it'll be put on our map. But doing the math, I think somebody in the comment section did it. The width of a bill is 2.2 inches, 2 5/8 of an inch. So that's about tennis ball size, a little bigger than that. So, man, that's near baseball size. Will Indianapolis get anything? So, yeah, hopefully we get a good enough location on this, and it'll be showing on our map here. So. Okay. Indianapolis. Okay. Pop over to this. I mean, it's not impossible. The river killed the hail in Davenport. Yeah, exactly. That's that very tiny body of water. That Lake Michigan can kill storms, especially this time of year. I mean, that's the problem we're having so far today, except for the Evanston storm, apparently. The Lake Michigan is kind of cold. Looks like it's gone. I feel so bad for door-to-door contractors right now, just saying. I mean, you can still do everything else. You know, you gotta adapt, evolve or adapt, man. Adapt or die. That's kind of apparently the theme of 2020. So I'm not one to do that, but there's plenty of resources out there that I think even Hail Trace we can help you out with, or help folks out with that. Okay, we got a warning now for the Toledo area. I'm gonna go check in on that storm. Man, this thing's starting to look pretty mean too. So the storm that hit Battle Creek. Man, what radar do I need to bring up for that one? Yeah, I think we might be moving into Ohio fairly soon. Looks like nobody's going to self-distance. Elgin. Okay, hang on. Let me go back to... nope, that's not Chicago. Yeah, give us a call. We're answering phones. I mean, I'm not answering phones, so... Gosh, dang it. I keep going the same thing over and over again. Okay. Okay, the storm. Somebody's saying about Elgin. The storm over by West Chicago. It's kind of close to Elgin, right? Or no? Where's Elgin? Christ, you think I feel like I know where it is, and you're yelling at me through your phone or computer screen. Let's see, anything near Cleveland, Ohio? Not yet. Storm near West Chicago. Looks like we could be trying to squeak out a couple more quarters along Route 38 in West Chicago and over by Wheaton. Maybe, we'll see. And down by Chicago Heights, is this a storm trying to form itself a little bit? Maybe. We'll see. I had ping pong ball size hail from Portage from that storm a little bit earlier. That's since passed. Storm happening right now. It's a $quarter, $half size hail. Pretty much riding along I-90 on the south side of Lake Michigan. And jump back to the overview look, and things are going to be moving into Ohio very soon here. Any chance in Buffalo, New York? No. No, it is 46 degrees and raining. I'm sorry. Buffalo is a no-go. The warm front didn't quite make it there today, so you need to have that warm, unstable air to have that big hail happen. Unfortunately, that's not the case. So, I'm going to check back in on the Detroit area, and it looks like the storm heading towards Toledo is not looking super pretty at the moment. I think the best hail core is over the lake, which is what you don't want to see. You want to probably see it be over here by Temperance, and there's not really much hail happening there, so I do not think Toledo is going to see much in the way of hail. However, further to the west here, or by Coldwater, I think this storm by Litchfield, Quincy, Allen, Coldwater, Jonesville, this might be more a better storm to look at here. I don't know which radar I want to use to look at it, but I think the Fort Wayne radar might be the one that looks at it the best. So we'll do a little switcheroo here. In the meantime, over by Davenport, got a couple monster storms in rural sections of eastern Iowa. That's just going to kind of add to it. Some little towns here and there across Iowa probably getting hit with some pretty big hail. But the biggest hail is definitely Davenport and Cedar Rapids. And those storms have since died. I mean, man, this thing crossed into Illinois, and that was game over. So don't think you have to worry about that too much. I think these storms are going to have a hard time making it to I-74. So thinking over here. Yep, yeah, there you go. That quarter-size hail I mentioned in West Chicago. So I think this little storm still might have a little juice in it as it's moving into Wheaton and eventually going to be heading into a much more, I mean, very, very densely populated section of the country here. When you see all the little white roads popping up and you can barely see the radar, that's when you got a lot of stuff going down. So I wouldn't be surprised if the thing tries to squeeze out a couple more quarter-size hailstones. Nothing like what we saw in Evanston a little while ago. So then probably quarter-size hail as well in Homewood over by Ashland Ave. And then here in New Chicago is probably the best looking frame so far of this storm. Wouldn't be surprised you get maybe some ping pong ball size hail in New Chicago by North Lake Park Ave and over by Howard Street. So man, got a lot of empty space in this screen. I'm slouching too much. Okay. Do we have the radar that I wanted loaded up? We do. Okay. So this is the Fort Wayne radar in Indiana. I want to look at this storm over by Allen, Michigan. I think this is the best storm in Michigan right now. And that's heading southeast, and that's going to head into northwest sections of Ohio in the next 20 minutes or, let me look at the timeline of this. In the next like 40 minutes or so, it'll be moving into northwestern sections of Ohio, and then it'll head, get my pen back out here. Thanks, Josh. We love to hear it. Okay. Go ahead. I'm going to bring up the arrow. So this is, whoops. That's right. That was from my little example earlier. Let's get off of pink. Let's put it on. Screw it. Let's use pink. It stands out pretty good. So following the pink arrow, that's where the best storm in Michigan right now probably has some ping pong ball size hail with it. It's heading southeast, so it's eventually going to get into northwestern sections of Ohio. And this will probably be the first hail producer in Ohio for this evening. Now, in terms of what we're expecting for possibly severe hail in Ohio, that's up in the air. I mean, we haven't had things turn into a big mess of a line yet. Yes, we have a lot of activity here. That's just going to be your general rain. But we off to the west, so I think within this area, this area here that the Storm Prediction Center is highlighting for big hail, that's still good to go. I mean, just based off of what we've been seeing so far this evening, it doesn't take much to get these things to drop some big-time hail. Conditions are super ripe today, and have been being proven time and time again that it's going to keep doing that. All it needs is a storm to be isolated for a little while and get that good inflow, and we could see some pretty big hail. Will it hit Erie, Pennsylvania, Justin? I do not think so. I think you're just to your south. But it's not going to quite, I don't think it's going to quite make it. The storm motions are not favorable for Erie. It'd have to be something coming out of Ontario that would hit you. And I do not see that. This is all just generally rain. So your hail is going to be either this guy here or something if this storm over by Toledo can get its act back together for more hail. And so pretty much I think that would probably, unless something forms out ahead of all this, I think Cleveland's chances are less than, say, like, I don't know, like Bowling Green or something back here in northwestern sections of Ohio. Here in Iowa, I think the majority of just major population centers have already been hit. Some more small towns maybe impacted, and outside of maybe a couple storms trying to regenerate themselves, I think Chicago, the Illinois side of Chicagoland is going to be winding down very, very soon, but I think the damage is already done. And somebody asked about Indianapolis. I mean, it's not impossible. Nothing's impossible. And was they talking about me? Oh, okay. Nope. Not talking to me. So, but in terms of Chicago itself, we might be kind of coming to close to an end here. This storm might be trying to ramp itself back up a little bit. This is the little engine that could, pretty much, here in Valley View over by I-88, moving to the south and east. That's probably going to, if that does anything else, we could see more. Of course, Northwest Indiana asks Curtis. We could, yeah, right now, you're getting stuff in northwestern Indiana over by Portage, Lake Station, New Chicago, Hobart, South Haven. What other, yeah, okay, we got plenty of population. I need to load up Porter County, basically, in Indiana. Get. Son of a bitch. Did I close Indiana's? Thank you for watching us, Justin. Give us that like, follow, share, all that stuff. We do this for you guys. We try to get you that info out there the best we can. Obviously, as we're doing it live, and it gets a little chaotic sometimes. It makes it fun. You get a bunch of storms happening. It's exciting. It's the blood pumping. Porter County. It's the try. I guess give it some. No BS, I guess. I mean, I try not to hype anything. I just try to report it as I see it. I only swear sometimes. So. All right, let's see. Let's get some roads on here so we can see all the towns a little bit better in Porter County. There we go. Yeah, this storm's not looking bad here over by South Haven. Wouldn't be surprised we're getting some hail closer to ping pong ball size, maybe some golf ball size hail's not out of the question. This is heading towards Paraiso. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and butcher the hell out of that. And so it's heading southeast towards another pretty solid sized town, Valparaiso. Paraiso. And again, I'd say probably upward ping pong ball size hail possible with this, as it's moving generally southeast away from the lake. You guys want an arrow to kind of see where it's heading. It's not pretty much on a crash course with this town, so pretty clear to see. Follow the pink arrow there. That's where it's going to be heading in the next 20 minutes or so. Go ahead. This. Send some hail to South Texas. We hope so. Tell John doesn't watch basketball. You can call it Valpo. Valpo, all right. Valparaiso. Valparaiso. Got it. I don't know. I keep trying to, I think it's because my last name is not super, it's kind of phonetic, but not quite there, so I just read everything that way. Storm looking pretty good here. South Haven, by North 400 West and County Road 600, so roads without names. What Michigan towns are hit? Doing a great job. Okay, what Michigan towns are hit? Valpo is a big college basketball Cinderella story. Oh, I'm a UConn fan, man. Like, you talking to me about Duke? Like that's what Frank knows. Frank's not even watching this, but UConn basketball. That's what. I'm a Connecticut boy. That's what I'm doing. Specifically north of Detroit. Okay, let's before I get off the rails here. Talk talking about storms in Michigan. So we had up to some ping pong ball size hail west of Ann Arbor. Holy crap. Okay, we had a lot of hail up over here. That must have happened while I was eating dinner. So North Branch, Imlay, up to golf ball, 2-inch hail, all with this. Did it make it to Port Huron? No, it like kind of petered out by the time we got to Port Huron. So all that north of Detroit there. We had well north of Detroit up by, what is this, Midland? Yeah, Midland, Michigan, and by Mount Pleasant. Had some hail there as well, from the quarter to ping pong ball size variety. Quarter to ping pong ball size hail by Battle Creek. We had up to 2-inch size hail. So golf ball 2-inch size hail over by Plainwell, Michigan. These are all going to be on the same map, all the same Michigan map here. And the only storm in Michigan right now that's producing hail is going to be this one over by Jonesville, Allen, Litchfield. So it's to east of Coldwater a little bit, and that's heading southeast towards northwestern sections of Ohio. And that's probably going to be your first taste of some severe hail in the state of Ohio so far for this evening. North Branch, Michigan. Yes, maybe. There was a lot of hail. Yes, North Branch, Michigan got 2-inch hail. That's correct. You had golf ball 2-inch size hail in North Branch. Yeah, sorry. I just gotta takes me out. Thanks, Bob. Thanks for covering me a little bit there. Michigan's a pretty big state. And I've never stepped foot in Michigan, so I don't know it as well as some other places. Let's see. I'm gonna just kind of check real quick. Yeah, probably nothing to really write home about in Iowa. I got some good storms, but they're pretty rural. Let's see, storm, the little Cinderella story storm I'm trying to launch here in the Chicago area. I think still making some sub-severe hail, and a couple other little guys trying to pop up. I don't think these are going to be anything of consequence. Yeah, so that really narrows it down to in the Chicago area is by Valpo. Heading towards there, and even then that looks like probably quarter, $50, maybe some ping pong ball size hail with that. So that's all that's been going on now. It's been a lot today. So with our maps, they're all available now. The names are probably going to be kind of fluid and changing. We change the names with what gets impacted. The star ratings are all pretty fluid as well, as we've had a lot of activity this evening, and as more cities get hit, it has to increase the value of the map and whatnot. So not entirely sure if we have a 5-star map or not, or multiple 5. I have no idea. If Derek still got the stream up, I mean, he can confirm it. Derek is the one using the Hail Trace comments, manning the comment section in the Hail Trace page right now. So everybody else is... As everyone else is all plowing away with all this, so to getting the maps done and finding pictures and verification and whatnot, that I usually get the trickle down of what it's going to be. Check out the new Evanston picture, John, says Derek. All right, yeah, okay. I'm going to bring this over for you guys to see. This is also in Evanston. I'm going to guess that we're probably going to be seeing a 5-star. We have Iowa to a 5. So, I guess I'm going to have to try to figure out. It's probably after I'm done doing this live video, I'm going to have to figure something out. Might get kind of creative. Can we double 5? Damn. Our first 5-star of the year ends up being 2 5s. That would be kind of nuts. So this was in Evanston. This was in Evanston, Illinois, which is right by Chicago. So yeah, I think this storm in particular is going to be your deciding factor on whether or not Illinois is going to be a 4 or a 5-star map. And Iowa, I had a feeling after seeing Davenport getting smacked that was probably going to be a 5-star map. So So probably, if you're wondering, how are we going to do Derek, the green pants? Probably after we're doing this live, we'll have to try to think of something. figure something out. I have a lot of the stuff. The monitor that you're pretty much looking at on here is actually my touchscreen monitor that we use for the green screen room. I have a couple other things in the green screen room, so we'll figure something out, and we'll make sure we get some kind of fun video out there for Derek. So, I lost my thought a little bit. Thanks everybody for tuning in and whatnot. Thanks to our sponsors, C3 Group, Merlin Law Group, Balance Claims are the supplement. I guess I could probably do a little shout out for them here. I don't think I had the Art of the Supplement one.
John here with Art of the Supplement, and I wanted to invite you to our brand new Facebook group, Art of the Supplement Nation. We've assembled the industry's top experts to bring you the best answers to all your insurance restoration questions. It's on Facebook, not MySpace. Delete that. You don't need MySpace anymore. Check it out. Facebook.
Yeah, John Dye is a cool guy. Go check out our supplement. Follow Balance Claims. Follow C3 Group, Merlin Law Group, all of them. Yes, I will recap everything before I go. So, and on top of that as well, since there was so much activity, and a lot of these maps are going to have a lot of swaths on them. I mean, just me trying to go over everything with you guys has been kind of a juggle. What we do now for our 3-star maps and better is we make, I will record a recap video. So, we have, what we'll do is I'll go through and I kind of go through the map quickly over a couple minutes, just from like what we find afterwards. You know, we can go through scouring social media, and like I look at the radar and I kind of pinpoint where I would target, and we upload those recap videos in there. So those will be all up, and if you purchase the map or you're already subscribed, it's a simple little play button next to when you download the map. It'll bring up the quick video. You can watch that and kind of get our basic ideas. And of course, if you have more questions, or a little bit of time goes by and we actually get some feedback, we can also have feedback where you get a call. I'm sorry, I'm reading comments and like talking at the same time, a little hard. And yes, yeah, if you get your contacts in there, everything with Hail Trace, of course, got to plug ourselves a little bit here. You can give us a call, 855-334-4245. I should probably make something to pop up on the screen there, and that all your comments, questions, and concerns. So you can call us. You want like tomorrow. You want to find out more if like what we have. That'll always be helpful as well. So I'm gonna check in on what's happening right now near Chicago, over by Valpo. Looks like it's impacting them right now. The storm's looking a little better, honestly. Probably some ping pong ball size hail right along Calumet Avenue, north of Glendale Boulevard. There you go. Yeah, Matt's putting the phone number in the comment section below. Shout out everyone at Hail Trace. It's turning into a late night. I realize it's 9:40 here in Central Time. Been working since, I don't know, this morning. It's been a long. These days are blending together, man. I mean, send us some likes and hearts and all that crap for something to distract us from all the other garbage going on in the world right now. Get some good old weather happening. So it's moving through Valpo now, and again up to some ping pong ball size hail. This is pretty rapidly moving out. Wouldn't be shocked if we saw. Yeah, actually, I wouldn't be shocked if we saw like some golf ball size hail like that. Nothing crazy. I don't think it's gonna be high quantities or anything, but definitely some hail happening there. In Chicagoland itself, I think we're pretty much gonna call it quits here. I think we're almost at the end of the road. Some more quarter size hail happened by Highland. Where else? Let's check in on Michigan, and then, okay, all right, yeah, this storm's looking better now. Yeah, we're gonna probably cross into Ohio with a pretty good storm here. I mean, so if you look above my head, you can see this giant, like, flashlight beam of blue. That's basically the hail reflecting off. It's almost making a hail spike just within the CCs, the correlation coefficient we use to see hail. So there's probably quite a bit of hail falling in Hudson, Michigan right now. And this is moving, again, generally southeastward. That's going to cross over into Ohio, probably by about 10 o'clock our time. So they're in Eastern time, right? Yeah, by 11 o'clock Eastern time, that'll be crossing into Ohio and eventually heading towards places like Napoleon, maybe even towards Bowling Green. Yeah, by Bowling Green in a while, if it can maintain itself as it continues moving southeast there. So that's the all she wrote for most of the areas that we've been covering so far today. Areas now possibly at risk could be Indiana and heading into Ohio. I think Michigan, we're basically done. I think other than that one storm I just mentioned, there's nothing else going on in Michigan, and there's not going to be anything else going on tonight. So they're wrapping it up in Michigan. We're done in Wisconsin. Still got activity in far eastern sections of Iowa, but outside of the storm to the west of Muscatine, that's really it. That's gonna be winding down in Illinois, where I'd say getting probably about 70% confident here that we're done in Illinois as well. So, if we have any more live coverage to do this evening, they'll probably be in Ohio or in sections of northern Indiana, and I'll be here and doing coverage if we have to for that. So I'm gonna do a quick recap, probably of a lot of what's happened. So if you've been watching us through the evening, you can see we had a lot going on. This is our third live stream of the evening with just minor breaks in between. So I can roll the overview back all the way to the first real storms that happened. We had activity all the way this morning in northern Wisconsin. Okay. There you go. We got, oh, Derek gave me. He's doing the house counts for everything right now. So that looks like 2.5 to 3 inch hail hit about 4,000 homes in the Chicago metro. It's pretty good. So we rolled this back. This is this evening. We had a storm move through Milwaukee that had up to some quarter-size hail. The much bigger hail actually ended up being to the north over by Grafton, Jackson, West Bend, etc. That had upwards of some tennis ball size hail. We're going to fast forward the time a little bit, and you can see over here this storm made us go live the second time. This ended up moving towards the Rockford area, impacted Rockford with two separate storms, one of which had 2 to 3 inch hail on the southern sides of Rockford. The other one had quarter to golf ball size hail on the northern sides of Rockford. Those storms died out, didn't quite do too much, and then a little time later we had, oh, there we go. Oh, all right, I got the baseball. Had up to some baseball size hail in Evanston. A bit delayed report. We showed that picture for you guys before compared to that dollar bill. So that's your 5-star reason right there. We had other hail happen in and around the Chicagoland area, and that has since kind of petered out for the most part. But if we roll things back a little bit again, we move a little bit further to the west, we had storm, and while the Rockford storm was gearing up to hit Rockford, we had a surprise little storm form, not even in the risk for today, formed just outside of Cedar Rapids and very quickly moved over them. And okay, I hadn't actually seen this. We had multiple reports of tennis ball size hail in Cedar Rapids. That littered Cedar Rapids with a lot of hail reports. Again, golf ball to tennis ball size hail seemed to be the average size with that big bad boy. The storm continued to move to the south and east, and then impacted while we had storms hitting Evanston with up to baseball size hail. We had up to 2 inch hail hitting Davenport, Iowa. So Cedar Rapids and Davenport got hit very hard this afternoon and evening, and that has since ended. So Cedar Rapids and Davenport are on the same map, so that's going to be your first 5-star map for the evening. I guess the hail trace comments, Derek can correct me if I'm wrong. Don't know the house counts. I think Derek's shoving them in there. So we had a 3-star map Wisconsin, 5-star map here in Iowa, and we had a 5-star map here in Illinois, so that's everything in Rockford, everything in the Chicago area. I mean, everything that happened in Illinois today is all going to be on that same map. And then we also had, I don't know what the star level is going to be in Michigan. We had a ton of activity. Oh, I mean, look at all these little reports here in Michigan. We had a ton of activity in Michigan, so at least a 3-star map, I'd say. I'm going to roll this all the way back to the beginning. And it looks like, so Michigan had hail all over the mitten, and we had, it looks like maybe some quarters by Grand Rapids. We had some golf balls on the western sides of Lansing. We had this bad boy over here on the eastern sections to the, over by like North Branch and whatnot. This had up to 2-inch hail. We had up to 2-inch hail in Plainwell, Michigan. We had up to ping pong ball size hail in Battle Creek, Michigan, up to ping pong ball size hail on the west sides of Ann Arbor, Michigan. And now we have a storm about to move out of Michigan and into Ohio over by Hudson. This is probably dropping some hail as well. This also at least a 3-star map. I don't know if it's going to be a 3 or a 4-star map. I haven't had a chance to look at our maps in a while because I've been doing live coverage so much this evening. But all of this is available. So you got Michigan, you got Wisconsin, you got Illinois, you got Iowa, and then Indiana. I think a lot of this stuff in Indiana is pretty much just kind of in the Chicago metro. We tend to put them kind of with everything else. So with that, the night's not done. We still have that chance for some storms moving into, again, with this one storm that looks pretty good in Hudson, Michigan. This is going to be moving into Ohio again in the coming half hour or so. And oh no, that's Matt mentioning. And the hell is this warrant for? Quarters? What? Trash. So again, we still have stuff possible in Ohio, and then there's still some lingering storms here, now moving, kind of dying out in northwestern sections of Indiana. That's going to wind down very soon, I think, in terms of severe limits. Nothing else. I think Illinois, we're basically, that's all, putting a cap on that. And Iowa, this will be winding down very soon as well. There's not too many population centers left to be impacted. So I think that's a recap of all the major stuff that's happened today. Again, we'll have recap videos for each and every one of these on each of the respective maps. Anything a 3-star above, I'll have a recap video to try to kind of go over everything that I just went over in the live video here. So you don't have to thumb through 2 multi-hour long live feeds to get a recap and kind of what our opinions are and everything. Let's see, overall homes affected in Michigan. I think, again, in the hail trace, the comment section, that's Derek, they're looking through everything that's happened, doing all the house counts for all the swaths and whatnot. So I don't know the house counts personally. I know whatever is being put in the comment section is honestly what you guys are seeing is what I'm seeing. Everyone else in the hail trace, all the other meteorologists, I'm seeing our chat blowing up. So everyone's working together. We're trying to get this out to you as quickly as possible. So, yeah, I mean, if you got any other questions, put them in there. How's the storm looking heading to Ohio? It's thunder and lightning by my house now. So I guess we can just kind of jump in on that one because that's probably the only real big storm of interest. I mean, it's definitely dropping some hail. Again, if you look, you can see the CC is going really bonkers here. This obviously is not hail at all up in here. This is basically a big spike, and then you get the hail in there south of Hudson. So this is gonna head towards over by like probably Delta, I want to say. No impact. Yeah, somewhere between Wauseon and Delta is where you're gonna be seeing. Somewhere in Fulton County, northwestern Ohio. That's gonna be your main storm. If it cuts to the east hard enough, it might get that. No, it's not. No, I'm bull crapping you. There's no way in hell it's making it to Toledo. So yeah, so that's gonna be heading into Fulton County again next by by 11 o'clock Ohio Eastern time. Oh, there are way too many comments in our chat. Grand Rapids West, Lansing, Ann Arbor, and Hudson major affected areas. I'm in Akron. Okay, Akron I don't think's gonna see anything anytime soon. Grand Rapids. I'm not seeing what happened. I think they had some quarter-size hail a little bit in Grand Rapids, and then West Lansing had some hail. I think I recapped a lot of it within what I had done a little bit earlier. Yeah, so we're gonna have a lot to recap. We have a lot to recap on our daily forecast tomorrow, and just a little preview. It looks like we will. I think there's a chance for some hail tomorrow. You guys want to look at? I'm gonna just kind of look ahead at tomorrow a little bit. We're at 193 hail reports for today so far, so we're gonna have a 200 hail report day. It's our biggest hail event of the year so far. So this is what the Storm Prediction Center has for tomorrow for hail. Got that hatch for South Central Texas, and then St. Louis, Memphis, Little Rock, Columbia, maybe as far east as Nashville. We'll see. At risk for tomorrow. Let me go ahead. I'm going to bring up. I actually haven't looked at this yet either. So we're going to find out. We'll find this out together. Here, we'll go through one of the models that we like to use. So if you guys watch my videos, our daily videos, this is typically what you see. Anything hit Monroe, Michigan does not look like, and if it was very small. So this is, if you watch our daily forecast videos, this is where I grab our future radar. Let's see here, we're scrolling through tonight. Here is going into tomorrow. Okay, all right. That's interesting. Here, possibly over by St. Louis tomorrow afternoon. A couple isolated storms. Looks like, okay, a lot of activity. This, if Derek's still watching, this kind of reminds me of a certain day in 2012. Yeah. Yeah, that reminds me of a pretty crazy April day in 2012. So looks like we could see, yeah, possibly some big hail, like these guys over here. You know, we don't want to take this for, you know, certain, but this is what was showing up a little earlier too. Something like that. That would be dropping big hail. The conditions tomorrow will be pretty similar to today, so that same hail size potential is going to be there. So St. Louis, I would put you at a pretty good risk, possibly even like Evansville, Louisville, and then maybe not as much in Tennessee. It might be more of a squall line by the time it gets there. And we'll check in on South Texas as well, and then that'll be it for our forecast, a little mini forecasting situation here. Not too much. I think tomorrow in Texas is pretty conditional, so it's like if one thing happens, another thing will. So yeah, tomorrow could be pretty interesting. St. Louis has my attention just from what I'm looking at here. I haven't really had a chance to look too in depth at tomorrow since this morning because we've had a lot going on, but just from what I looked at right now, that a couple things caught my attention. So if it's trends through the rest of tonight and into tomorrow, we could have another busy day. So we'll recap everything, all the video, all of the maps, what the names end up being, what the style star levels were. You can recap all of that on our 12 p.m. forecast, 12 p.m. Central Time, our live forecast, and forecast for tomorrow, see how things go, and then possibly do some more live coverage, and I might, maybe my voice will be gone by the time the weekend comes around. We'll see. So with that, I think I'm going to wrap things up for you guys here. I feel like I've recapped everything. There isn't a whole lot crazy going on, going on right now. So if anything does happen, I'll come back. You know, we'll do coverage if anything happens that catches my eye in Indiana. Or why is there a severe thunderstorm warning in Cleveland right now? Hang on. We are not leaving yet. I'm finding out why there's 3 thunderstorm warning in Cleveland. Damn it, just send it to Amarillo already. Ha ha ha. Don't worry, I think by next week things are trending. Not the beginning of the week, but like the second half of next week, I think they're trending more towards a normal for this time of year pattern. Why do we got 3 thunderstorm warning in Cleveland? What's happening? We got something interesting going on? Yep. Alright. Looks like we got a storm happening right now. I have no... The county is loaded up. So I have no roads to look at here. But using major highways, we got I-71. Looks like we might have a little burst of some quarter-size hail here in the southern suburbs of Cleveland. What county is this? Cuyahoga. Okay. Because it's not Detroit. That's Matt. Hang on, guys. Let me get some roads so I can pinpoint things a little easier than just a major highway. Right when I'm about to go, they drag me back in, you know? $35. The roads are fine on this one. Okay, I think I got, that should be the roads. Yep, there we go. All right. Yeah, I think we got a little period here of some quarter-size hail. So, you know, no base, but I don't think there was any baseballs or anything, but some quarter-size hail south side of Cleveland, or south suburbs of Cleveland, over by. So, right here you see that higher reflectivity. The CCs are throwing me some bones here. So it looks like it started a little while ago in Lindale, just north of I-71. Cross, was it a river or something? No, just probably flood zone or something. Crossed over I-71, moved into Brooklyn, and now kind of doesn't look as too hot right now, but over by Cuyahoga Heights, there might be some small hail happening. So looks like, I mean, I said I think Cleveland's only chance of something formed in front of all this gobbledygook, and apparently Mother Nature went, yeah, okay, yeah, no, you're right. So let's do that then. So we looks like we got some activity. So things are starting here in Ohio. Looks like we got a lot of stuff trying to fire off. Again, it was very unstable in Ohio today. All we need was that trigger mechanism. So I guess I'm not going anywhere. We're going to keep this rolling. We're going to just switch over to the Ohio show now that we have some activity. So it's not going to be just Northwest Ohio. Looks like, again, I think we had a little swath, a quarter, maybe $50 size hail in the southern sections of the Cleveland area. And this is a developing situation. We'll kind of see where this goes. See if it actually has anything interesting in there. So just checking over by Iowa. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So we close one door closes, and another state in the Great Lakes goes, my turn. Let's do this. Come on, guys. Yeah, the storm's looking a lot better getting into Ohio too from Michigan. Heading towards Oak Shade imminently. It's actually into Ohio here. So yeah, it should cross us over into 200 hail reports, no problem. We only had a couple 200 hail report days last year. I think first one wasn't until May, maybe. Oh, it took forever. I felt like to get like a big, like it hailed quite a bit last year, but it took a long time for it to actually like significance hail. So there we go. Yeah, there's that 1-inch report, nickel quarter size hail report in Old Brooklyn. So that's what I was looking at there. Some quarter size hail with that. Yep, yeah, right. Oh, over in that, yeah. Right there. Wouldn't be surprised, maybe a little bit of quarter-size hail over by Newburgh Heights, right along I-77, and that continues to quickly move off to the east. And then we have a warning out now for pretty much the entire Cleveland metro for this giant cluster of storms here. I think there might be little areas of up to some quarter-size hail. I don't think we're going to see anything like what we saw in the Chicago area, not with the storm mode that we have. I think strong winds might start to take over a little bit, but in terms of the hail, probably going to be a little bit on the more minimal side. So yeah, so we got a low area quarter-size hail, and we have some other storms trying to bubble up. This one's over by Aurora. It's trying to get its act together a little bit here, and Akron. I mean, you're far enough south, nothing's really happening yet, but it looks like we're trying to see other showers trying to get its act together as well in the overall Cleveland, Akron, Canton, Metro, whatever. I don't know what you guys consider this here in Ohio. So yeah, we're just gonna kind of keep this rolling. Go back to the main overview here. I'm gonna check in on our. Wonder get any more cool pictures to post in our chat. No. No fun pictures in it right now, unfortunately. So, yeah, give us a like, give us a share if you like this. I'll put in just another little quick little ad, and then we'll check back in on the Cleveland area. Actually, you know what I'll do? I'll put the Cleveland radar on motion, and we'll have a quick ad from our sponsor, C3 Group. We'll be back in approximately.
Met Matt and Andrew several years ago. Just really awesome guys as far as giving the information, really making the industry better. They care about the contractors. They care about, really how the whole process works. And then they're very honest as far as when we have a claim, to give us their honest opinion as far as whether or not we want to pursue that or not. And then once they, receive that claim, they really do a great job at following up with the homeowners, making sure that they're representing our company, because at the end of the day, our client is trusting us to put them in touch with the best in the industry.
And shout out C3 Group, our main sponsors, for making all this happen and letting us do these little videos for you guys all the time. So, you see here, showing the greater Cleveland area. One thing that's got my interest right now, this is going to be over by Sheffield Lake and Lorraine. You can see all the higher reflectivity, even some lower CCs. This seems to be an area of hail that's going to be coming on shore pretty soon here. It's probably your best chance at some bigger hail possible in the greater Cleveland area. So, excuse me. So we'll see how it goes, how that progresses in the next. Should get in there. Let's say like 10:04 now, 10:06 now, like 10:20. Okay. Got possibly some more quarter-size hail in Cleveland. Kind of similar near Brooklyn, what we had just a few minutes ago, right by I-90, right by and just south of I-90. My lights just dim. That would suck. Okay. That was weird. How's Aurora looking? I think Aurora, Illinois? Or... Oh, Aurora, Ohio. Duh. Storm is moving east of you. I think it's trying to get its act together. It'll probably be closer to maybe Garrettsville if it actually does anything of importance. So I'm gonna load up Lorain County while I'm thinking about it. 93. My lights keep dimming. I don't know what's going on. All right. Yeah, so this area of hail here looks like we're about to get on shore very soon. I'm curious to see if this will actually be something of significance, or it's just going to be a lot of sub-severe hail. Either way, so watching that like a hawk, see if that ends up coming on shore and does something unexpected. So in terms of the Cleveland area itself, we had that little area of some quarter-size hail. Wouldn't be surprised if we had a second area of quarter-size hail, just basically riding I-90 in Lakewood and into Cleveland, and that's moving through now. Might be some marginally severe hail over by Warrensville Heights, by Route 43. That might be a little bit of 1-inch hail, probably isolated 1-inch hail, a lot more smaller hail mixed in with it. Let's jump back in on the other storm in Ohio here. Yeah, because we're getting some half dollar size hail at least by Oakshade, and that's the storm that was in Michigan that's now moving in. You can see everything is just pushing to the south now, so we say we're done in Michigan now. Like, now that one storm's crossed over, okay, golf ball size hail in Oakshade as I'm talking. So yeah, that storm is dropping some pretty good size hail. So pretty much everything south of this line, it has a chance for hail. Everything north of this line, you're not going to see anything going on. So basically what's going on is we got some hail now moving into Ohio. So yeah, all right, yeah, this storm's looking pretty good in Oakshade. This is in Fulton County, Ohio. Let me load up those roads for you. Oh man, I gotta take my headphones out for a little while. I don't have too much. The audio I really have is just internal stuff, so I know my microphone's working, but my ears are starting to hurt. My headphones are meant to be working out. They're the Beats Sport Pro Air Sport things. Good headphones, or not Beats, the Bose ones. Bose Free Sport, I think is what they're called. Again, not paid, just I like them. But I've been wearing them all day, so my ears are starting to hurt. I'm having noise canceling headphones on all day. So yeah, we got some golf ball size hail now with this storm in Fulton County. It hit the little town of Oakshade. This is about to hit Wauson, Wauseon, and it's going to be heading towards Liberty Center and eventually Grand Rapids, Ohio, maybe even clipping Bowling Green. Not going to make it to Toledo, but this does have golf ball size hail with it. Looking pretty good, and there's nothing to really... I keep going here into the untapped Ohio air. Elsewhere, I think most of northern Indiana, your hail chances are pretty minimal. Wauseon, all right, good, thanks. Going into Wauseon, just south of Oakshade. Got that golf ball size hail, and it's going to continue. It's going to cross I-90 imminently and continue moving southeast, and maybe eventually making it all the way down to Findlay. We'll see. Jumping back over to we'll go east. Yeah, I think Iowa, we're pretty much saying all she wrote on that. Looks like we have this area of higher reflectivity crossing over into Sheffield Lake right now. The CCs aren't super low, which leads me to believe we might not be seeing a whole lot of big hail in here. Usually, even if it is just like quarters, we'll see more more yellows, and right now it's not looking like too much. I'm gonna bring up a couple other. There we go. So this product here shows melting, and we're seeing a whole ton of it. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if there's almost no severe hail within this. It'll be hail, and it might be kind of loud, but I think it's gonna be primarily a smaller hail mixing in there. The bigger hail potential probably is maybe over by Warrensville Heights. I think that one area of quarters might be all she wrote for this. Route 43 by Newburgh Heights. Might be, yeah, you're probably seeing a little area of quarters here. You got those lower CCs showing up like along Watterson Ave and over by East 131st Street. But otherwise, whoa, 70-mile-an-hour winds. Okay. Oh, I guess I should probably look at the winds. Oh, geez. Okay. Yeah. So that's probably what we're seeing. It's windy. Yeah, it's pretty windy off the lake here. So this is your velocities, storm relative velocities. You're getting some strong winds, so we may not be seeing too much in the way of big hail moving into the Cleveland area, but you're getting that 70-mile-per-hour winds with maybe some peat and nickel size hail, but probably not too much in terms of really big hail. And yeah, so this is all strong gusty winds coming out here. I didn't even think, I wasn't even looking. I haven't been looking at the winds too much today. I've been just covering the hail. But yeah, a big mean green wall coming at you, Cleveland. You're about to get real windy. Whoops. Nope. That's all I'm doing. There we go. Back to CC. So, I mean, again, that 70-mile-an-hour winds, that was coming off of the marina. So once you get inland a little bit, you got friction kind of going up against, water is really good at carrying those winds very well. Once you get hitting buildings and houses, buildings and trees and all that crap, the wind speeds are gonna come down quite a bit. So still winds upwards of 60 miles an hour probably in Amherst and Sheffield, and that's no joke. So, and again, that can, if there is some hail in here, that little hail might ding up some siding or something if we get if we're really getting some good gusting winds. Yeah, other than that, you got that one little area of hail in Cleveland, and I think for the most part, the hail isn't going to be that big of an issue. I think as this starts to move in, Cleveland, you're going to get your gusty winds, and then that's going to be it. So once you get the wall of wind, it's game over for Cleveland. Oh, crap. Okay. 2-inch hail. All right. I mean, that's just what's been happening today. So 2-inch hail in Cleveland just now. Just east of Newburgh Heights, 1.5 2-inch hail in Slavic Village in Cleveland near Fleet Ave and East 65th Street. I think that just popped up. All right, yeah, okay, cool. Everybody's getting hail today. So you got this area, this line here, strong winds. Got the hail in Cleveland. That's happening right now. So they're not happening at the same time. You're not getting the super strong winds with the hail at the same time. You're getting this little storm with some hail, and then the strong winds are coming in a different storm after that. So again, this storm right here. Okay, yeah, it's it's looking a little better right by Warrensville Heights. That might be the best frame so far. He said LOL 2-inch hail, Cleveland with 70-mile-per-hour winds. Yeah, Derek didn't read between the lines. They're not at the same time. The 2-inch hail isn't happening at the same time is the wind. just clarifying that everything. Yo, so are we dying or not? No. So so if you're in Warrensville Heights right now and you're on like Harvard Ave East and Lee Road, yeah, you might have just seen some pretty big hail, some ping pong ball to to golf ball, ping pong ball to 2-inch hail. I mean, that's just what we were seeing before. Not a crazy long period. I mean, there's that 2-inch report. I mean, that it got 2-inch hail there, and it didn't look incredible on radar. So it makes me think that over here we're still seeing hail about that size. So that's going on. If you are in Avon, if you're in like Olmsted Falls, Westview, North Ridgeville, it's about to get pretty friggin' windy for you, buddy. If you're in there. Detroit's done. You're good. Detroit's over. Like, your severe weather for the day is done. Like, that's it. Like, everything's passed. You're good. If you don't like storms, you can breathe easy. It's over. Cleveland's about to get pretty loud. So yeah, you got the strong winds coming in here. Again, I would be surprised. 55, 60 miles an hour. That's 70-mile-per-hour gust. That's coming right off the water before you get the friction from the land coming in. So I wouldn't be super shocked if it's actually a little, you know, it's immediately going to be less than that once you get inland a little bit. Yeah. But, yeah, I'm really surprised. Man, I can't believe it was 2-inch hail in this, guys. Like, I mean, the weather surprised me all the time. I mean, I learn something every day. But usually at least the radar would look like how it is, like right here, like by Warrensville Heights. I can believe 2-inch hail with that. But back this way, I mean, we're really close to the radar too. And that's dropping 2-inch hail. I mean, all right, man. I mean, I doubt there's a ton of it. There's definitely not high quantities of it, but I mean, if that's what's going to be falling, then that's what's going to be falling. Any rotation, I was just asked. Toledo storm just got warned for ping pong ball size hail. I'm going to check that out in just a second. I'm going to check to see somebody for rotation here. No, not really. This is definitely in the Cleveland area. We're talking some pretty straight line winds. Like, so not much rotation. Everything's kind of moving in the same direction. So, again, if you don't like tornadoes, you can breathe kind of easy. I'm not expecting too much tornadic activity with any of this right now. This is not the type of weather setup to have tornadic activity right now. Okay, so I said, nope. Toledo was just warned for hail upwards of ping pong ball size. I'm curious. Okay, yeah, it's probably for the storm that had the golf balls. Yeah, so what that is they're warning it for this storm, and they're making these big blocky warnings. So really the storm's going like this way. It's going to go south of Toledo, but I mean, you know, if they want to warn it that way, they can. All right, I'm getting far away from the radar here. What's a good radar for me to use for Toledo? Gonna let my computer decide. How about Warren? Okay. I guess I'm going back to Detroit. I don't know where Warren's at. I need to have like a separate computer to like Google Maps these things for you guys so I can get to them right away. Hang on, is Meteorologist chat throwing anything in here? Hang on, I'm just gonna at your. Oh, dang it, I don't have the proper emoji. So, Warren, Michigan. Oh. Like for right now or from earlier? Because for right now, there's nothing. Like Michigan's done for the evening. Like, I think maybe Warren had something earlier, but if you're asking about earlier, let me just check real fast. Oh God, dude, I maybe like there's a lot of hail in Michigan today, and I'm not native to the state. I've never been to Michigan before. One of the meteorologists at Hail Trace, the last minute is over my head right now. Yes, exactly. It's that's pretty much it. Like, it's winding down. Like, oh dang. Oh, are you serious? There actually is quarters in this? All right, yeah. So I guess there's there's quarter size hail in this stuff coming into Cleveland here. There's definitely a lot of rain mixing in with this. Again, the correlation coefficient should be dropping down a little bit more if it was high quantities. And I guess I'm going to go 4-panel real fast. I know I try not to do this too much because I know it can be a lot to look at. I mean, it looks like there's a lot of melting going on, a lot of rain mixing in. So those quarters are probably a little isolated. Again, a lot of rain moving in, or a lot of rain mixing in. Gusty winds. The gusty winds up to some quarters. The thunder from earlier shook the ground. Yeah, no, I'm sure the cloud to ground lightning, especially the ground to cloud lightning, can be like super loud, super strong, because like you're getting, the shock wave is much closer to the ground. So, all right. I mean, the shock wave is always close to the ground, but yeah, when it gets down to the ground, it gets super loud. In terms of the hail that was up possibly to 2 inches in diameter, I guess you just kind of got to follow this guy from Warren Heights. Moorland Hills might be seeing some quarter size, some hail that might be bigger than what I'm expecting. And we're getting, again, anywhere you see those high reflectivity, so Avon, Lorraine, quarter size hail mixing in. I don't really think we're going to see a lot of like hail mixing. Like, I think it's just hail mixed with the very heavy rain and gusty winds. So you're kind of hear it in there, and you go look out there, and I'm sure hail size is ranging from as small as pea-size hail upwards of, I guess, occasionally up to quarter-size hail, if that's what people are finding and reporting on MPing. So somebody asked, what's your job? I'm a meteorologist. I'm a meteorologist here at Hail Trace. Check us out. We do this all the time with big-time storms, and we do forecasts every day. Check us out. Subscribe to our YouTube page. We do content all the time. We've been doing little happy hour things recently. We had 2-inch hail in Cleveland off of I-77. Yes, that is what we're showing here by Newburgh Heights. Here's the radar frames for it right there. Pinpoint it for you right here. I'm about to lose the light. Hi sub. Thanks, man. Thanks for subscribing. And we do forecasts every day at 12 o'clock Central Time. We do live coverage with storms everywhere across the country, and whenever there's big hail, severe wind, tornadoes, all that jazz. Oh dang. Oh shit, I hope this isn't like actually a tornado. Okay, so I think I said something about tornadic activity not being a big deal. Right here by Grafton, so this is not in a little bit of rotation. Wouldn't be surprised, maybe like a tiny little spin up situation might be possible. Be probably pretty fast. So this is right by Route 76 and Highway 154. Somebody asked about the happy hour hail. John needs a shot. Yeah, well, we did a couple happy hour things already. I mean, just during all this quarantine stuff, I'm just kind of thinking of stuff to kind of hang out, socialize a little bit, talk to you guys. I mean, obviously we're talking to you guys a lot right now with the live coverage, and But here, if you're wondering where the 2-inch hail was, it was this guy right here. So like between I-77 and Route 43, north of Warren Road, south of East 55th Street, or on East 55th Street actually. I think that's what it was, yeah. East 65th, yeah. Fleet Ave and 65th. That's where that 2-inch hail report came in. And now you have a second, that area where you had the 2-inch hail, you got a second round of storms moving through right now. And that's going to have the gusty winds with it. And quarter to, I guess, up to $half size hail at Jaycox and Schwartz in southwest of Avon. So it was this guy right here. You see the high reflectivities. So apparently maybe it's a Cleveland radar thing, because the correlation coefficients aren't dropping down as much as like they do in other places. And sometimes there's some weird radar stuff, and maybe that's just what's going on. I don't know. I think it's just there's a lot of rain and wind, and that might be causing some problems. Quarter to $half size, so from Sheffield Lake. Wow, crap, am I still alive? Am I?